Have you ever wondered what the American dream looks like when you are over 60? I did. I'm 67. Although I'm set for the rest of my life, or so I think, the worry about finances is the number one concern of most seniors. The financial strain, the relentless rise in the cost of living, and the doom of inflation we all are experiencing today is very disheartening. Do you agree right now we need a call to action? We need an immediate intervention at all levels of government, our faith-based communities, and our corporate partners. One shocking fact is in 1990s, only 11% of homeless single adults were 50 or older. Now the number surged to 38%. How is this possible? This is the harsh truth we'll address in this video, where an alarming number of seniors are finding themselves every single day in America. Here are their stories. Mainstream television now depicts seniors in homeless camps on popular television series, but here in America, we simply turn a blind eye. Housing costs, in particular, have skyrocketed in many parts of the country. It is increasingly challenging for older adults with the fixed incomes of retirement. This makes it hard for lower-income seniors to afford safe and comfortable housing. You've heard on the news and my channel about your children coming back to live with their parents. This happened to me with my college-educated daughters. Now we have parents being kicked out of their housing for non-payment and are living with their children. Department of Housing and Urban Development highlights the startling fact that in 2023, older adults constitute the fastest growing segment of the country's homeless population. This surge in elderly homelessness is reminiscent of the Great Depression. How is it we are repeating history and we didn't learn from our mistakes? The answer? An alarming 57 million Americans are employed by companies that don't provide retirement savings plans. This leaves our seniors to a point of homelessness when they hit retirement ages. Gone are the days of retiring with a company you worked for 30 years and living your best years in retirement. That died with our parents' generation. My name is Mark. Welcome to Crypto for Seniors. Today we are going to review alarming trends as the workforce is aging. Seniors are finding themselves homeless or living with a family member after working their whole lives. The American dream, sadly, is now America's shame. Seniors are the fastest growing segment of the homeless population. The television industry has already noticed and produced countless shows depicting this tragedy. Shows like Station 19, Grey's Anatomy, and 911. Homeless seniors are increasingly relying on emergency rooms for basic medical care. The financial strain of managing healthcare needs can quickly deplete savings in smaller retirement accounts and push seniors into debt. Chronic health conditions, disabilities, and age discrimination can make it difficult or impossible for seniors to find employment. This leaves them vulnerable. At my last job, I worked with an 80 and 90-year-old female employees. So, why are they still working, you ask, the 80-year-old said. I didn't understand how to save for retirement when I was younger. The other woman said, I thought Social Security would protect us. My parents never told me how bad it is. I need you to understand, they are literally working until they get sick and die. Healthcare expenses present another significant burden for seniors. As people age, they are more likely to experience chronic health conditions requiring ongoing medical care. While Medicare provides essential coverage, around 80% for seniors, it doesn't cover all medical expenses, leaving many to grapple with high out-of-pocket costs that quickly takes any savings they have in their late 60s. Yet some continue to live into their 80s or more, doing without the basics because Social Security is simply not enough. The rising cost of everyday goods and services further exacerbates the financial challenges faced by many seniors. Groceries, transportation, and utilities have all seen significant price increases in recent years, making it difficult for those on fixed incomes to make ends meet. What was once considered a comfortable retirement income can easily become insufficient in the face of our current inflation levels. Maybe you and me don't feel this financial pinch except at the gas station or grocery store, but the largest and still growing group of individuals in America is dealing with the struggle every day. This perfect storm of economic factors, stagnant wages, rising housing costs, increasing healthcare expenses, and the rising cost of living has created a bleak reality for many. Not just our seniors, but it impacts our veterans, single mothers or fathers who have to quit work to take care of children. The promise of a comfortable retirement, earned through years of hard work and dedication, seems increasingly elusive as they struggle to maintain their financial stability, independence, and pride or self-worth. A disturbing trend is emerging in the shadows of American prosperity, a surge in homelessness among our late 50s and 60s and, unfortunately, into our 80s. This silver tsunami, as experts have dubbed it, is a stark reminder of the economic vulnerabilities facing a quickly growing segment of the population. Full disclosure, as of the release of this video, both my wife and I started our retirement. Neither one of us retired when we thought we would. Me for health reasons and my wife because her practice closed. So I am right here with you with the same fears and hope that we all have at this stage of our life. Once a rare occurrence, seeing elderly individuals on the streets or in the workplace is becoming increasingly commonplace in cities and towns across the nation. Or finding seniors working at the grocery store in the checkout lane, or at the doctor's office scheduling you for another appointment. You see them, but do you really? Multiple factors contribute to this alarming trend. The rising cost of housing, coupled with stagnant incomes and inadequate retirement savings, has left many seniors struggling to keep a roof over their heads. Case in point, in Florida in the last 5 years, an average of 146 nursing homes or assisted living facilities have closed each year. This information is confirmed with the Florida Agency for Healthcare Administration. The situation is particularly dire for those with pre-existing health conditions or disabilities. These individuals often face additional challenges in securing employment and affording necessary medical care, making it even more difficult to maintain stable housing. As a result, many end up on the streets, their health and well-being further compromised by exposure to the elements and lack of access to basic necessities and medication you and me easily obtain from our pharmacy. We are past crisis stage. There are no easy answers to the question, what's next? The struggle for many is affordable housing and care. The surge in elderly homelessness exposes a critical gap in the availability of affordable housing and long-term care options for our aging. By 2040, really not that far away, the number of Americans aged 65 or older is expected to grow by 45%, from 56 million today to 81 million in less than 2 decades. Across the country, waiting lists for subsidized housing and assisted living facilities are growing longer, leaving many older adults in desperate situations. Many Americans find themselves reliant on Social Security, which sadly replaces around 40% of their previous income, requiring that retirement savings to cover the 60% difference. And remember, 57 million Americans are employed by companies that don't provide retirement savings plans for their workers. Furthermore, the lack of affordable housing options is compounded by a shortage of long-term care facilities and home health aides. These health aides and nurses are leaving their industry at alarming rates. Those who replace them are far less trained and qualified. As the senior population grows, the demand for these services is far outpacing the available supply. This shortage is driven by several factors, including low wages for caregivers, challenging or dangerous working conditions, and limited government funding for long-term care facilities and services. Experts and economists agree the consequences of this shortage are dire. So, a quick reality check. Do you think we can recover? Post in the comments below what your beliefs are about this situation. Seniors who are unable to afford private care or secure a place in an assisted living facility often end up in overcrowded shelters or worse yet, on the streets. I want to stop here and tell you a story about one man who, after the George Floyd situation, is committed to making a difference. Sheriff Bob Fletcher of Ramsey County, his deputies and members of his God Squad, go into the homeless community in Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota. Not to break up the encampments, but to spread love, joy, and dignity to those who have fallen on hard times. Sheriff Fletcher runs a large YouTube community. You can click on the link above or wait until the end of the video and you will find a link to their page in the description and comments. Let's show them some love and subscribe. The loyal following, of which I am a proud member of, are called the Backseaters. These Backseaters provide gift cards to the sheriff and his merry band of men and women. It's the Backseaters who started this after they saw the sheriff pass out a few food gift cards to many fast food restaurants so the homeless can have a good hot meal that evening. Now cards literally come from around the world. And a shout out to Nick at Night, Deputy Nicole Sparks, and the amazing CAT team. For security reasons, Deputy Sparks is not shown here. Catch their live to see her and the CAT team in action, all who pass out gift cards to the homeless. Or to troubled youth showing kindness and a true desire to have communication between law enforcement and today's youth of any color. You can watch the Sheriff and Clear Right Deputy Pat Scott Friday evenings at 9:11 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook. They have anywhere between 10,000 to 18,000 people who follow them on Friday nights on both platforms. Join me in becoming a loyal backseater. Now back to the video. Without significant investment and policy changes, the crisis of elderly homelessness will continue to escalate, leaving a growing number of seniors vulnerable and without the support they need. Analysis by the U.S. Government Accountability Office revealed that only 1 in 10 low-income workers between 50 and 64 saved for retirement last year, compared to 1 in 5 in 2007. These workers have a median earning of over $100,000 a year. As people age, their healthcare needs tend to increase, leading to higher medical expenses that can quickly deplete retirement savings and push seniors into financial insecurity or ruin. Even with Medicare, the federal health insurance program for those aged 65 and older, significant gaps in coverage leave many seniors vulnerable to high out-of-pocket costs. These costs can be substantial, especially for seniors with chronic health conditions requiring ongoing medical care and expensive medications. The lack of price controls on prescription drugs in the United States further exacerbates this problem, allowing pharmaceutical companies to charge exorbitant prices for life-saving medications. This is one of the major causes of mental health problems in the homeless community and part of the group I would counsel when working as a crisis counselor. The financial strain of managing healthcare costs can have devastating consequences for seniors. Many are forced to choose between paying for healthcare, housing, food, or other essential needs. Some delay or forego necessary medical care due to cost, leading to a decline in health and potentially higher healthcare expenses in the long run. Now you see why I wanted to speak about this rising situation. And finally, let's wrap this up with that call to action. Protecting our elders, preserving our future. In a few years, most of you watching will experience the same concerns for your future. The plight of America's seniors is a stark reminder that the American dream, once a beacon of hope and opportunity, is slipping out of reach for far too many. In a country as affluent as ours, homelessness should not be an acceptable outcome for our seniors. Our leaders, our government who vote themselves pay increases all the time seem to me to be shifting the responsibility onto our shoulders. I am for less government controlling my life, but increasing the nation's debt to staggering numbers is not the answer. Inflation so quickly after the pandemic, the dream of working our whole life and retiring at 65 is gone for most. This call to action must start today if we will ever have a chance to repair our economy. I absolutely will not allow discussions about politics here, but follow your beliefs. Make a difference like Sheriff Fletcher in Ramsey County, Minnesota. We cannot, in good conscience, stand idly by as a generation that built this nation struggles to survive. Our elders deserve to live out their days with dignity and respect, not in fear and desperation. Their stories, filled with resilience, hardship, and a deep-seated desire for a secure and fulfilling retirement, should serve as a powerful call to action for all Americans. The time for complacency is long gone. The well-being of our seniors is not a partisan issue. It is a human issue that demands a collective response. One more call to action, if I may. If you have continued to watch this video to this point, you may find this video helpful and informative. Thank you, truly, for your time and concern to the retirement nightmare here in America. If you would like and subscribe, it really helps the algorithm to find me and help promote our channel. Thanks, I will catch you in the next video.